Today we're talking about an actor who isn't afraid to be contradictory, who lives between art and ambition, between risk and tenderness, Timothée Chalamet. Three of his characters, three mirrors of the soul: Elio in Call Me By Your Name, Bob Dylan in A Complete Unknown, and Marty Mauser in Marty Supreme.
Hey, hello. Welcome back to Not Just Quiz, the podcast where the stories we watch become mirrors. Here, we don't look for certainty. We don't tell you what to think. We just invite you to think again. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jordan. Yeah, good to be here again. Because Not Just Quiz isn't a trivia game. It's a way of seeing life without predetermined answers.
Exactly. So if you're here, thank you. Breathe with us, let go of the need to have all the answers, and let's step into the conversation together.
Together, they draw something larger than a career. They trace an inner evolution.
Call Me By Your Name was the awakening. Elio is innocence set on fire, that stage of life when feeling deeply seems almost forbidden. And Chalamet doesn't act, he remembers. Every gesture carries the memory of a love unsure if it was allowed to exist.
Yeah, there's something in Elio we all recognize. That first desire, that first fear, that first summer that teaches you feeling can hurt. I remember being that age and not knowing what to do with so much emotion. Keeping quiet felt easier than naming it. Watching him on screen was like seeing my own shyness turned into art.
For me, it was the opposite. I thought being rational would protect me from pain, but silence wounds too. Elio taught me that vulnerability isn't weakness, it's authenticity at its highest point.
And that's why his Oscar nomination at 22 was more than a prize. It was a sign of change, a softer, more introspective, more honest masculinity.
Yes, and an invitation to ask uncomfortable questions. When was the last time we let something truly touch us? Or have we numbed ourselves just to avoid burning?
From love, we move to reinvention. A complete unknown. Timothée is Bob Dylan, not just imitating him, but questioning what it means to be someone when everyone's watching.
Exactly. The fascinating part isn't the physical transformation, it's the inner dilemma. Dylan changed skin so many times, he became a symbol of anonymity inside fame. And Chalamet understands that game because he lives it. He's a young actor forced to wear 1,000 faces while trying not to lose his own.
There's a beautiful exhaustion in that performance. The weight of having to justify your talent to a world that demands constant novelty. I felt that once, trying to reinvent myself just to please others. Every new version of me was more exhausting than liberating.
Same here. Social media, comparison, the endless chase for authenticity that ends up being another mask. Watching Chalamet play Dylan felt like hearing someone say, I can be everyone and still not know who I am.
That's why A Complete Unknown isn't just biography, it's a mirror. It asks whether beneath all the noise, we still have a voice that's our own.
And that brings us to the third mirror, Marty Supreme, obsession turned into engine, talent as both curse and fuel.
Here, Timothée plays Marty Mauser, a brilliant hustler, a 1950s ping pong champion who lies, bets, steals, manipulates, and yet you can't look away. Marty doesn't chase love or redemption, he chases glory. And the unsettling part is that we understand why.
Totally. Marty Supreme isn't a sports film. It's about desire and ambition, that American anxiety of being someone, of winning at any cost. And Chalamet dives so deep, it's like he's burning from the inside out. The fake acne, the tense skin, the paranoid eyes, everything breathes truth. Director Josh Safdie said he wanted to film the energy of a country that believed anything was possible, and Timothée embodies that. A youth that refuses limits, that wants the summit, even if it hurts. I saw him at the SAG Awards saying, I want to be one of the greats. He didn't say it with arrogance, he said it with hunger.
with the vulnerability of someone who knows greatness has a cost.
That fascinated me because beneath the character's arrogance, there's something tender, the need to be seen, to be remembered, to leave a mark. And there it is again, the mirror. How often do we lie or exaggerate just to feel valuable?
Yeah, and Marty Supreme shows the irony of that pursuit. You can win everything and still lose yourself. It's the same lesson as Dylan's, only faster, dirtier, more desperate.
That's why I think it's the most mature performance of his career. He's no longer the boy who feels or the artist searching. He's the man facing the cost of his ambition.
And he does it with a mix of irony and tragedy. There's the scene where Marty looks at his own orange ping pong balls, each stamped with his name, Marty Supreme, and he laughs as if he knows glory is just another brand. That laugh sums up the entire film, wanting to be eternal and realizing you're just temporary fashion.
And yet, what a brilliant contradiction, because in that laugh, there's humanity, the recognition that there's no such thing as purity in a world that rewards ambition, but it's still worth playing.
That reminds me of something personal. There was a time I wanted everything I made to be perfect, and I ended up exhausted, disconnected, empty, until I learned there's no supremacy in art, only movement.
Yes, perfection as a prison, and Chalamet seems to understand that. His entire career is a negotiation between fire and form, between talent and exposure.
Look at what's left after this journey. Elio taught us to feel, Dylan to search for identity, and Marty to face the price of the dream.
3 stages anyone can recognize: when the heart opens, when the ego gets confused, and when ambition tests you. And in each one, Chalamet grows more aware, more human, more artist.
Yes, that's why we say he's not just an actor, he's a generational mirror. Fragility became his strength, sensitivity his signature, and contradiction his natural territory.
And the question this episode leaves us with is simple but deep. Which stage are you in right now? Feeling like Elio, searching like Dylan, or reaching like Marty?
Whatever your answer, remember, life isn't about winning, it's about playing with meaning, about not staying frozen in a single version of yourself.
Because life, like this podcast, isn't a quiz with fixed options. It's a conversation in motion.
Exactly. And as long as you keep asking, you're still alive.
Thank you for listening, for thinking with us. This was Not Just Quiz.
See you in the next episode, and until then, keep feeling, keep questioning, keep being.